Good morning and welcome back to Downgrade Arcade. Today we're going to show you how to make cancer. Step 1, eat hydrogenated oils. Step 2, smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Okay.
Step 3, eat green eggs and ham.
Well, it sounds like you're trying to get at a lot of different types of cancer.
Yeah, like we're min-maxing our cancer.
Min-max your cancer. Dude, I mean, our Z-Gen is so nihilistic that I wouldn't even put it past us to start doing, like...
Yo, dude, I got, like, so much more cancer than you.
I got 20% cyst growth in under a month. My doctor is very worried.
My doctor is simultaneously worried and very pleased to have my business.
But my life insurance is, like, gonna be really pog.
Yeah, that's, like, gonna be a huge flex. Like, yeah, my kids... They're going to be set when I die cancer-riddled.
Yeah, sure.
Crabs! Look at those crabs. They're those nice listening to heavy metal. They're like...
Yeah.
You know? Those are some heavy metal crabs. Oh, that's why it's cancer. Because
the spiders? Do the spiders count as crabs?
I mean...
They should.
They should. If we're talking, like, biologically speaking, they're not that different.
Well, yeah, they're all arachnids. So.
They ain't that different. They're all crabs.
They ain't that different.
They ain't all that different, man. Those crabs ain't gonna brush their teeth. Shit, man.
That's crazy to think about. Like, you know, like the crab thing, where like everything evolves into crabs.
Everything is crabs.
That's somehow much more upsetting if you think about it in the context that they're spiders. It's like so evolutionarily the most survivable thing is. Now, they're a little less creepy because they don't spin webs, they don't like catch whatever. Like they're just more like aggressive, you know?
Yeah.
They just pinch shit in their claws and they eat it.
No, give me my sponge back.
Which I guess is what like some tarantulas do, but...
Oh, yeah. Those
anyway,
are like dollar store quality.
That reminded me what you said, green eggs and ham. So the thing about green eggs and ham, not to just, I mean, dissect a 50-year-old book.
I want you to rip open the bowels of Dr. Seuss.
Well,
I want you to get in there.
I can.
I want you to give me a detailed analysis. Oh, look, a gun.
Nice. But the thing with Green Eggs and Ham is, right? It's an interesting book because the dude in it, not Sam, but the other dude who's on the cover who doesn't like Green Eggs and Ham because he's a prick.
Because he's an utter asshole.
He's supposed to be the protagonist. He's kind of like the one guiding you through the story or whatever. But he is, in fact, you're supposed to believe that Sam is the antagonist, when in actual fact, he's the douchebag that won't just try the green eggs and ham.
Give it the last one. Yeah.
Here's another thing, right? Whose favorite food is ham and eggs? Some people. I'm sure some people like...
I'm sure that is for someone.
Yeah. I'm sure some people really like, appreciate...
Oh, yeah, now we're cooking with gas.
Ham and eggs.
Now we're cooking our green eggs and ham.
But
another...
But here's my point about it. It's pretty mid-tier. It's pretty mid-tier food. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it. First of all, I don't like eggs, so that's one thing.
Yeah.
And ham is not my favorite.
I do know that about you.
But they're pretty whatever. I mean, served that way.
But they're like so good for you.
I know. But
I mean,
served
there's
that way, just
high in cholesterol or whatever, but
just like 2 fried eggs and some ham with a bone in it. Like, who really do you know who would go crazy for that? Who goes to a restaurant and goes, oh, you know what I'm having? I'm having a ham and eggs.
Yeah, like, that's kind of a pretty uncommon...
Well, it's not just that it's uncommon, it's like...
Like, favorite food. Like,
it's not good. Oh, QP mayonnaise.
It does kind of look like the QP bottle. It is.
No, it's actually supposed to be QP mayonnaise.
Give me your things. Give them to me.
It's a Japanese mayonnaise brand.
Just want to make a big ball of crud.
But anyway, so it's not great. But the fact that he eats it at the end of the book and is like he's blown away by it. He's like beyond, he's like, oh, I thought I would hate this. I mean, the whole book is about like not judging like a book by its cover type thing. It's like, well, just because it's green doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
But also,
It's teaching you to be less discerning with your food.
And I'll go into that in a minute here, because you can talk about like prejudice and stuff like that. You can talk about how people are like, oh, I think it's not good. Oh, get that crab.
Oh yeah, big crab energy.
You can talk about how it's like, oh, he's just judging it because of how it looks or whatever, but actually it's very good.
Uh-oh.
But the point is that he goes crazy for it because Sam is probably actually a good cook. You know?
Sam probably had to put a lot of effort into making that ham like so impressively tasty.
Yeah. It's not just any old ham. He's like, no, I really like this. That's what he says verbatim. If this was a lawsuit and I was defending Sam, we would win.
The Dr. Seuss lawsuit.
Yeah. If we dissect Seuss, dissecting Dr. Seuss,
Monsieur Seuss.
That's how it would go. It would go very poorly for that other guy. Trying to diss on Sam's ham.
Maybe this is like a hidden talent of yours. Like you could have been a lawyer.
No, I should not be a lawyer. I took honestly, I'm not good at math. I've always hated math. I took a legal studies class just because I could, just because it was like it cleared some credit or whatever that I needed. Honestly, most difficult class, hardest class I've ever taken. I hated it. So, not for me at all. I like the idea of
heirloom.
I like the idea of it. Just like I like, you sort of romanticize the idea of like being a lawyer, or like being a doctor, or like, these like time-honored fields where you help people. Doctors more so than probably lawyers, but
yeah.
But then in
big
practice,
respect if anyone out there watching is a doctor.
Yeah, no one.
Literally, maybe one of you.
Yeah,
we know you personally.
Yeah. But anyway, so.
Oh, big crab energy, dude.
My point is,
big crabs.
On page 1, assuming on page 1. The green eggs and ham is freshly cooked and still warm. By page 14 or whatever, that shit's cold. It's cold.
It's not even warm anymore. It's just cold eggs and ham.
Yeah, and he still likes it. He's still way into it.
Is there a way I can get up onto that platform?
I don't think so. You can't really get that big in this level. It's mostly about collecting crabs.
It's all about the crabs.
There's
How many
one
crabs
pot behind you.
Can you have? How many crabs do I have, Sam?
Oh, you collected a beetle fight.
That's really specific.
It's how they broke up.
Oh, like the Beatles, like the band. Oh.
I don't think that's what they were going for with that.
Wait, how do I get that crab on the dog?
You have to get on the table and roll on top of the dog.
How do I do that?
Bro, I don't have all the answers.
I just gotta get supersized.
I just straight up blew your mind, made you question your existence.
Yeah.
With my deep analysis.
I'm two
of Dr. Seuss's green eggs and ham.
I was gonna get those pan crabs.
I tried to tell you a minute and a half ago, but
yeah, I kind of already got them, but I feel like
that looks delicious, but also slightly disturbing. Yeah, that's about right.
That's about what you would expect from a big wad of crabs.
Well, just any crabs. I don't like crab at all. I don't barf. Too crab intensive and kind of gross.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but crabs are tasty.
92 crabs. Oh, he likes that. Okay.
He likes my crabs.
He doesn't like crab that much, but...
A sea of crab meat. Hey, I should get a crab in it for all my crabs.
Shut up.
I mean, otherwise, where am I going to put them? I would have to put them in my pants.
There's one crab with you on his hand. Did you notice that? Also looking up at him? You picked one friend to take with you.
Yeah, you can't put all the crabs in there.
She feels the cosmos, dude.
I feel the cosmos in my pussy.
It's a child, Sarah.
Sorry. So yummy crab. Ooh. Ooh, I sure do love having crabs.
Incorrigible.
I love a good crab. Oh, so is that what I...
That's how I feel when I get hungry in the middle of the night and I make some food and it's good food.
And it's a good food for you to have.
Thanksgiving, so it's leftovers or whatever. And you're just oh, I feel it I feel the cosmos.
Yeah, I do feel the cosmos when I eat a good stuffing.
I don't get stuffing. I'm glad that you do, because it at least, like, I feel like I like you and you like stuffing, so I feel like, you know, vicariously I can kind of be a part of the human race. You know?
Yeah, you're one of the aliens that's been
No,
like
I'm glad you like it. I don't
sent to Earth or whatever.
I don't like it.
Well, I like it better than turkey. Like, is it the best food ever? No. But in terms of like
that's really weird.
Thanksgiving
You like it better
foods,
than turkey?
Yeah, I mean turkey is just kind of dry.
Yes, it is.
Typically.
Yeah.
So
I just have
a
don't like
hard
turkey
time.
either. Go get those dice.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna play so much D&D with the wrong kinds of dice.
Well, D6 is perfectly
About all
fine
I
with
can
those
do.
candies, yeah.
Roll a D6.
Roll
roll
D6 for me.
Go on, roll a D6. What you get?
Let's see if you can strangle that gator.
Oh, a 2? Gator ate your head. Sorry. Sorry, girl.
It's playing like really basic
Here we go.
really basic D&D. You just use all D6.
And you're like in a swamp.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
You're in a swamp.
A swamp. I like it when we play dragons in the dungeons and the swamp, and yeah.
I love when the dragons have to go to the dungeons, because
Can I have that? No, I can't.
I appreciate our legal system.
Yeah. Ah, foreign coin. This is something.
Should like
That's neat.
someone should like do D&D as like an attorney. You know?
Honestly, I feel like that would be a really good character for a D&D campaign.
Yeah.
Because if you have a murder hobo party, somebody's gonna need to get them out of trouble, and
Or into
it's kind
trouble.
of like a point of like, it's funny.
Yeah. No, because then you would like, so you could figure out the legal system of whatever territory you're in, and then use it to your advantage.
Ah,
You know, because that's really what being a lawyer is all about, in my estimation, as someone who's never
he's not a
practiced law and who
lawyer
knows,
at all.
yeah, no fucking idea what he's talking about. But by my estimation, in very broad, simple terms, it's about learning the rules and learning how to play around them, or play to them.
Yeah, I guess that's got to be part of it. Got to know the rules in order to break them or whatever.
Right.
That's what people say.
And if you did that like in a D&D game,
Give me your stuff.
you could be like, you know, like raped that sheep in half or whatever. Well, that's actually, you know, a felony in these parts. And, you know, if I had a witness, and I do, you know, Farmer Brown, he could testify against you, and you could spend 10 to 20 in the king's dungeon. Or you could kill him. And then all evidence hereafter is inadmissible.
Yeah.
And then your barbarian's like,
It's like you learn about one like
good plan.
good loophole.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course it would be the barbarian.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
I'm just inserting myself really,
bad
because I
doggy.
always play as like a
That is a dog, right?
barbarian type character. Or I guess technically a fighter, but my barbarian makes more sense.
Give
My
me
first
your
character in D&D in first edition was a fighter. I don't know if they had barbarians in that.
I'm not entirely sure myself.
I really don't like when they... Because the thing with like a fighter is it's broad enough to be a lot of different things, which some people might not like. But at the same time, some of these become too like culturally ingratiated. You know, like a monk, for instance. A monk is very specifically like a warrior of the East who uses, you know, possibly like their fists, fist weapon, bow staff.
Yeah, it kind of gets to a point to where like, should you include this
Well, it's like
in a world that doesn't have any of the same things?
That was the first expansion to D&D. Was like
I just lost like so much stuff.
yeah, you're not doing very well. Yeah. Like,
I thought I could pick up these oranges.
no, don't. If you can't pick them up, you gotta leave them. As soon as you touch something and you can't pick it up, just leave. Because you're just losing shit. Bumping into it
Just
over
becoming
and over.
a big dumb loser.
Yeah. Just go outside. Just go
I was
outside.
gonna
There's
also
more
try to
shit.
get
Go
more of
outside.
these guys.
Outside. Similarly, I mean, like the barbarian archetype of like, it's very specifically kind of the
Oh, now I've
barbarian
gotten myself stuck.
very
There we
quickly
go.
becomes like a Viking age Scandinavian berserker, you know? And it's not you couldn't like remodel it or whatever to be something
I
else,
don't
but
think
it's
I'm
just
big
like,
enough to be here.
I feel like as soon as a class starts like incorporating like cultural elements, it becomes kind of a cop out of like design. You know, it's like you could, I mean, if your definition of a monk, for instance, is just someone who fights with their hands, that's fine, and you can do that. But
Well, that's good for you.
as soon as it becomes like, oh, they use, you know, the year of the monkey, ancient dragon wind of Emperor Shan Li as an ability, you know what I mean? Like, you can do that, but because my thing is I don't want to be relegated to like be forced to do that. But if I want my character simultaneously, maybe it's, and I've done this before, I've had like a campaign that's like, you know, very, I think I actually just played in it. I don't think it was my campaign, but it was very like thematically like medieval Asia,
yeah.
rather than like Europe, because that's, you know, traditionally how D&D goes. Simultaneously, like I don't want to have to be a monk to fit into this world, you know? Like, why can't I just be a fighter and, you know, my abilities and my spells and whatever are my own. It's however I, you know, want them to be. I don't know. Clearly this is a very niche issue.
Yeah, but
Because the thing is, it's really what it comes down to is people watch like a kung fu movie or something and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Seriously.
the first time you ever watch a kung fu movie
Well,
and you're
not just-
also playing D&D.
Not not that specifically, but you know what I'm saying.
No,
you know, or
yeah,
you
I
watch-
get you.
Or you watch what's that Skarsgård movie? Berserker, whatever the fuck. Anyway, you watch something like that and you're like, I want to do that. It's like that's how most people design their D&D characters, because most people don't have like a sense of, you know, creativity. And not to say that you can't
There we
be
go.
creative, but honestly, it's just like your sense of creativity, you don't have the same kind of like integrity about it, where you're like, oh, I need to be totally different. I need to be like something, you know, unique or whatever. You don't have that sense, and then you just end up doing like something that's been done before because you saw it someplace else. And some people are inspired by that, and that's fine. But I just personally could not do that. I would much rather come up with something on my own. Whatever. Anyway, you're probably gonna fail this.
No, I think I can make it happen.
Okay, well, we'll see. You have 3 minutes, and you still have to go to a meter, so.
Yeah, it's not looking good, admittedly. I feel like every time I think I can get something, I can't, and then I just like set myself back.
It's all my insipid nonsense talk about Dr. Seuss and D&D.
Yeah, it's melting my brain.
My D&D issues that no one else has.
Also just feel like,
Someone, I'm sure there's someone that agrees with me, but most people are just like, well, I just saw it on TV, I want to, you know, whatever. Fuck you for making me come to your stupid house and play this stupid game and then judging my choice in D&D character. I saw this on TV, I thought it was cool, I want to play as this. Isn't that what fucking class fantasy is all about? Fuck you.
yeah, there's an argument to be made for that too. Why can't you just let us have fun, Brendan? Let us have a good time. Why you gotta be, oh, your Katamari's not 20 billion
No.
meters yet. What are you doing? You can't.
No,
You just
this
gotta
is-
let the people
This is
have
why
what
I'm a
they
great
like.
DM. I'm a great DM because I enforce a very specific type of fun. You can only have fun in a very specific way. And if I swear to God, if your type of fun is in any way could be construed as derivative of some other
Oh.
work.
Lord help you if your character is derivative.
Yeah.
That's how you become Brennan's enemy.
A
Brenemy, you might even say.
Listen, I'm not going to apologize for having these opinions. These are just my opinions. These are just how I think about things. You can do whatever you want. And I've played with tons of people that, you know, do this kind of thing that I'm saying, and they have fun doing it, and that's fine.
Come on.
And do I judge them a little bit, and do I compare myself and go, I would never do that? Yes. But they're having fun, and that's what matters, you know? And if you're hanging out in a room with people that are all judging you and hate you and whatever, you should probably leave.
Yeah, and you're probably in the wrong room or whatever.
By the way, I don't do that. I don't make it other people's problem. I think about it, and I go, where did that come from? Why do they want to do this?
And it might bother you even.
It bothers me a little, but I don't care that much. I'm really making a greater point about class design. So
still a long way to go.
Long way to go, and you're halfway there. I bet you could do it in 6 seconds.
Probably not. I'm probably.
No. You told me you got this. You told me you got this. Did you lie to me?
Well, I thought I had it before, and
look at his lip quivering.
I know. Oh no, my daddy is upset. Oh no.
Our eyesight is the best in existence. Look at his like claws.
He's frightening.
It was only for that one lightning flash as well.
This minimalist craze. Yeah, that was what I was going for. I thought you might like it. I thought you might like a bit of a like minimalist / Scandinavian designed Katamari.
I thought you might like an IKEA Katamari.
Yeah.
Go away.
Goodbye.
Oh, you can see the skeleton there.
Yikes.
Here, you want me to do it?
Yeah, you go ahead and take a crack at it since you were jonesing to play last episode.
Controller is mine. All right, now I'm going to show you how a real... Now, whatever I said, whatever opinions I just waged in the last episode, this episode, previous to this, prior to this, when Sarah was rolling a Katamari, I stake all of those opinions on this.
Yeah, so now if you lose, if you don't make a good enough Katamari, now you have to take it all back.
Right.
And you have to let me play a monk our next D&D campaign.
Oh my, I gotta do this then.
That should motivate you.
Yeah.
I think.
You're giving me like too much motivation, honestly.
Like now it's life or death.
Yeah.
It's too critical.
I just don't like it. I don't like them, like, I like the idea of a monk. I'm gonna say that. I like the idea of a monk. I just don't think it should be culturally tied to anything. I think as soon as you start doing that, as soon as you start going, well, oh, this civilization's type of warriors or whatever, they fought like this or whatever. I totally get it. I get why people want to play as a you know, like a, what are they called? That specific temple of monks.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Shaolin monk. I get it. I get, you know, doing kung fu and like doing martial arts instead of using a weapon, whatever. I think that's cool. I agree. I just don't like the cultural component of like tying that into, you know, like your class. Like when you design it as like the, because this is the thing. I write my own D&D handbooks. So I think about it in terms of like class design, you know, not just playing as it, but also designing it.
Yeah, I have to say right off the bat, you're doing better because you've gotten all the erasers and stuff. I was just like, fuck it, and just went to the next spot.
Hey, you just gotta be faster, dude. They usually set you up in the area
chopsticks
that you want to be to like collect. Like usually the way that it goes is, yeah, you can always collect the things that are smaller or whatever, but it usually pans out for you better if you collect the things that they give you right away. I'm articulating this very poorly, but you're supposed to scale up like gradually. If you do that effectively, you'll be better off. If you kind of like, I think of it as like a gradient in my head. And like, I don't want to pick up anything that's too big right away because I want it to be a kind of gradient of like small things and then medium things and then the things that I could barely pick up.
No, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, it graduates. But yeah, you kind of have to figure out what those things are. Some things look like you should be able to pick them up, but they're just a little too big.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's another thing.
You get a sense for it.
Yeah, you got to get a sense for it. It's like, yeah. It looks like you should. It's smaller than your Katamari technically, but it's like, it's still a little too big. And then this, you got to be able to like execute on those.
Ooh, that's a nice grab.
And get these watermelons.
Some watermelons.
Watermelon is like my favorite thing when it's artificial. But outside of that context, like real watermelon is whatever.
I've never been a big fan of watermelon since we're back to talking about food again.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about food, but I'm just saying real watermelon, generally not that good. And I don't know if it's like a GMO thing, if it's like used to be better and whatever, but...
Like bananas apparently used to be better.
Yeah, well, that's a whole thing. I could go into that, but... Yes.
Do you want to? Do you want to talk about bananas for a long time?
You want to talk about the history of monocrop agriculture and why it's a bad idea? I didn't think so.
I'm not against talking about anything. Except the sneeze thing. That was awful.
Douglas the sneeze collector?
Yeah.
What's wrong with my boy Douglas?
It's just, out of all the characters that you've done on the show, that one
You're
just
the one that's bringing him up.
is gross. I had to look at the channel for something the other day. It made me remember the horror.
Made you remember.
And I remembered why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But it's
I
fine.
can get these bears.
It's still funny. Get those bells.
No, I can't.
No bells for you.
Can't even get the damn tulips.
You can't even get a tulip. You're not even big enough for one flower.
Remember when you had like 3 minutes left and you were collecting these robots?
Yeah.
Sam.
I did a bad job. I know. You don't have to rub it in my face.
Too late.
I'm like a poor puppy right now who did a bad thing, and you're like rubbing my face with my own piss. You're like, remember? You remember when you peed on the carpet? I'm like, ooh. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So
that's what
instead,
I'd
like to talk about bananas. Thank you very much.
Well, do you know? How about you tell me?
Is that when you grow like one crop in one place, and then that crop becomes like infected?
It's like it has to do with like the seeds and like the because every crop reproduces the next crop, but you make it so that it's the same genetically.
And so when something goes wrong with it,
right? So if one strain of this crop is susceptible to a certain disease, a blight, then all of it is.
And then it all likely will catch it.
Well, not necessarily that it catches it, but that it is susceptible to it. So if that blight is visited upon you, then all of your crops could die because they catch it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why bananas aren't the same bananas that you knew from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And apparently they were better. They used to be like sweeter, and they used to taste more like
the artificial
candy banana
yeah, exactly.
taste.
Yep.
Which makes me sad. It makes me think like, wow, I really did miss out on
some good ass bananas.
Some good ass bananas.
Hey, not everything's better in the future. But then you also look at other things, like have you ever looked at like still lifes of like I don't know, that include old fruit, and you see like what it used to look like. It's
yeah,
like, that's pretty sad too.
I used to have to study a lot of those in my art history classes.
Yeah, exactly. So you know.
I know what you're spitting.
You know how I be spitting?
I know how you be spitting all up in this mic.
I'm always spitting in your microphone.
I gotta up my noise cancellation for how you're spitting in that microphone. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, really?
Well, that's just like a setting that I have.
Okay.
have like a little downgrade arcade preset that has the right, not just for you. I'm not trying to single you out. I'm just saying that we, sometimes we like smack our mouths and eat chips in the mic, and we're just really disgusting lard monsters. So I have to. Lard monsters? Yeah, I have to make sure that the noises go away.
Right.
Oh, you could almost get that globe.
I know.
You're almost there. We just need to be a little bit bigger. Oh, we bet you can get those bears. Get those bears.
Goddamn bears.
Get those goddamn bears, Brennan.
Get those goddamn bears.
Why aren't you getting them bears? I told you to get those bears so long ago and you didn't listen to me. You didn't listen to me.
I think I can get the plants outside. That's what I'm trying to get.
My favorite is when you're big enough to like collect people.
Yeah, and they run in fear of you.
Yeah.
It's pretty cathartic, yeah.
That's just like...
Oh, look at these big ass buckets.
It's an embodiment of how I feel when I like haven't been anywhere in a long time. And then suddenly I'm like, you know what? I really should go out.
I really should roll off a bunch of people.
Yeah. And you leave the house and you're like, just like a Titanic lard monster, like I said before. And then you're like, yeah, I really could just Katamari all these people. Because I'm just such a big ball of filth.
Is that what you think?
No, I'm just... Okay. I'm just getting kind of surreal with it.
Kinda.
Just kind of. There's some element of this that's true for me, and I guess it's up to you to decide what that is.
It's muy surreal.
Muy.
Muy. Everyone's favorite character.
I don't know. Dissociation is a real problem.
Bar Jar Janks.
Oh, look, that kitty has like a thing. Wow. He was like one of those like amputee cats that had like a little carriage to hold his back end up.
Aww.
And you sucked him up like a damn asshole.
Like an old newspaper.
Yeah, that's what you do to old newspapers. You suck on them.
I got Cubby the bear. Cubby.
It's also very specific.
Come here, Cubby.
I like it when you can like find like very specific things. 'Cause most of it's just random stuff.
Oh, I want to get this trophy, dude.
There you go. Get that kitty. Oh, you're like at the edge of the world.
Yeah, dude. I'm like Jack Sparrow.
It's at World's End.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, dude.
I did it for you. I made our dad proud.
I thank you.
You're welcome.
I will always be the disappointment, the failure, but at least one of us can do something right.
It's pretty big.
That's pretty big, but like I imagined it would be bigger. You know what I'm talking about?
I could have done better too. Oh well.
It's fine as long as we're getting through.
Oh, we collect playtime.
Playtime, gardening, and games.
That is what this channel collects, I guess. It's playtime.
Yeah, we collect times where we're playing around, and then we put them out onto the internet. We spit them out into the dark web.
Planet Mischief.
All right. That's pretty fitting.
Oh, now we're at El Aeropuerto.
We're at Heathrow.
No, God. Please, no. No, this is probably an efficient, reasonably sized Japanese airport where the staff are nice. And you don't need a goddamn app with map directions to understand where you are.
Yeah.
All right, well, to be continued, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Katamari. We hope you're enjoying this fun, nice time with this little blockhead man and also me.
And we'll see you here next time.
We'll see you at 11 a.m., everybody. Goodbye.
Ta-ta.